I'll go back to Chris. Chris, I asked you first the worst ones. I'm going to ask you for your best.
Listen, when I knew that we were talking about this topic today, about 5 movies came right to my head, and I was thinking, wow, I can't believe there's this many sports movies. Then, as I thought more about it for a day or two, I even did a little Googling. There's 20 plus fantastic movies. So I'm gonna give you a few of the obvious best ones, and I'm gonna give you a few that you guys may
under the wire
may laugh at me for, and I'm gonna leave a few for Lou.
Okay.
And I'm not putting Caddyshack on my list. Okay.
Wow.
It's not as funny to me, but young timer millennial.
Movie. Caddyshack is a great movie.
You know, like almost the whole movie is improvised.
Yeah.
There's like no script.
All right, movie. I'm gonna give you a list here. You got to go with the Rocky series 1, 2, 3, and 4. Happy
Rocky
Gilmore.
1, yeah.
I saw Benchwarmers last night. I think it's even though it's cheesy, I think it's hysterical. Adam Sandler comedy. Again, I'm going to Remember the Titans.
Wait a second.
Yeah, over Hoosiers and Rudy. Okay.
Benchwarmers is one of the great
Have
sports movies of all time.
I'm allowed to enjoy what I. This is why I said you laugh. I'm allowed to enjoy what I.
No, you are.
Wait, what about Happy Gilmore? What do you think of Happy Gilmore?
Chris.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
You're so young. You're so young.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
Yes, I've seen Happy Gilmore.
How would you?
It's not Chariots of Fire. When you're talking about great
I think Happy Gilmore is funnier than Caddyshack.
But is it a great film?
To me, yes. It's like food. Like, I love an Applebee's steak. It's not Peter Luger's. I enjoy it more than Peter Luger's.
See, you can't argue with that about Applebee's steak.
Yes, I've had this debate with my friends.
I'm not even going to attempt. All right, so Benchwarmers is great. Go ahead, keep going.
Great or my enjoyment?
No, keep going. That's the David Spade movies in there too, isn't he?
He's in.
Oh, wow.
Remember the Titans?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm putting Space Jam in there.
Okay, Remember the Titans is things.
Remember the Titans is a great movie.
I'm not putting Any Given Sunday in there. I didn't love it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it either.
And I'll give you one more before
Al Pacino's overacting at his best. Oliver Stone reaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Rocky 1. For great movies, I love all the Rockies. Rocky 1 is the only one I think you can talk about.
I'll tell you my opinion. Again, this is just, of course, an opinionated show.
You mentioned Raging Bull, by the way, which is a fantastic
Raging Bull is phenomenal.
Cinderella Man, phenomenal also.
Phenomenal movie. Yeah. But Rocky 2 is literally 30 seconds away from being a perfect movie. And I'll tell you why Rocky 2. Rocky 2 has everything in it. It's got the pathos, it's got the drama, it has the conflict, it has the downward spiral story of when you're here and trying to... But where it falls flat, it's the double knockout scene. It destroys the whole film.
You don't count out
just should have
Rocky.
had him knock him out. And now you've got a perfect movie.
Because in real boxing, Rocky wouldn't have been counted. Because he slipped. Apollo didn't punch him. So if you slip and grind,
and you're right. You see, you know your stuff.
Counted.
You're right.
You don't get counted. Right. Only Apollo. So it was for the extra drama, like you're saying.
Right. It's
only
what they call theatrical license.
Exactly.
But
only
it ruined
Apollo
the whole
would have been
movie
counted.
for me. It's a great
Then you had
movie.
the whole Rocky hanging on. I love. Yeah,
Rocky 2 was a great
Rocky 2
film.
was fantastic. For me, Rocky 1, I love that whole end of the scene where it didn't matter that he won
right.
because he lost.
Right.
And then
I like that.
And then
too.
they're announcing it, and it's completely in the background.
The score is fantastic. The Bill
Conti
Conti score is
fantastic.
fantastic.
There one time I had an interview with Stallone, and I forgot who it was, because they were talking about sports movies on like MSG, and they asked Stallone. They said, do you know a big reason of why that Rocky was so good? And Rocky was like, yeah. I mean, Stallone was like, yeah, the music. And he was like, that's 100%. And he goes, I'm incredibly blessed to have worked with that, who made the music, because
Bill
that's
Conti.
iconic. That goes, you think Rocky, you think great movie, but then you think him running up the stairs listening to Gonna Fly Now. But
I was going to say, Rocky's not only one of my favorite sports movies, it's one of my favorite movies. But and I'm going 1 through 4, but I just didn't like the punches that they each take a million haymakers to the face, and in reality, and granted, the first one was filmed in the late 70s.
And on no budget.
Yeah, but a million punches like that, I would have liked to see a little more realistic.
You ever seen old Rocky Graciano fight or a Jake LaMotta fight back in the 40s and 50s?
You're saying
it was some animalistic fights, yeah. I mean,
well, LaMotta
but again,
was Raging Bull.
They took theatrical license. I understand that, and that's what Hollywood does.
If you had if Mayweather,
so I didn't mind
if it was a fight on film with Mayweather, it wouldn't be exciting at all. Mayweather's a defensive technician, exactly.
Nobody hits anybody.
So you were talking about Rocky 2 being one of the best. Again, the great ones to please knock away the bench warmers.
Well, let me hit on.
I don't want bench warmers to be on the list of best movies right now.
My apologies to David Spade for knocking you for anything.
I love you, Spade.
That was an award-winning performance in bench warmers. But being a hockey guy, there's a hockey movie called Miracle, which was a Disney movie.
There you go. That was Rich Hahn's #1.
I think that's a great movie. And for you Ranger fans out there, don't they play the Kurt Russell, Herb Brooks speech?
Yes, you're
for
right.
a rally call at the Ranger games? It's one of the great monologues.
You're 100% right, yeah.
In film history. And
You'll
that's the
take it to
actual
your
monologue.
grave.
And that was the actual monologue that Herb Brooks did in the locker room. I think it's a great film.
Your grave.
I think Miracle's a great film. Kurt Russell was phenomenal in it. Phenomenal in
Like
it.
the Mighty Ducks or no?
Okay. It's a children's movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't classify it as a great film because I think it's at a different level. I think it's a children's movie.
But when you say great, I'm just curious, are you saying like great cinematically, well done, or are you saying enjoyment? Or both?
Everything. The whole thing, the cinematography, the music, the acting, the writing. The word great, first of all, is just thrown around too much these days. Everything is great. Well, no, everything is not great. Certain things are great. Certain things are good, very good. It's just like with the Hall of Fame. Some guys are some guys are Hall of Famers, and some guys are not Hall of Famers, and they're getting in.
It's not
the
for
very
great
good.
players.
Right.
It's not the Hall of Very Good.
It's for the greatest players are supposed to be in the Hall of Fame.
Like Carlos Boozer.
And we have that kind of
Darren
stuff going
Williams.
on today, you know. So,
but that's what I like about sports films, and I think sports. You mentioned Miracle, and that's based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things that just happen in sports naturally that just that go so well to going on to film, and I think when done really well, a sports film works out very, very well.
And it's funny because certain sports have done very, very well in movies. Like baseball movies have done very, very well. Football movies, not so much. People haven't gotten the energy or whatever of football right. And I think with baseball, I think part of the reason that baseball movies work is the majesticness of baseball and the grass and the blue sky and you know what I'm saying. It lends itself to storytelling. I think the sport itself of baseball. Also, Bull Durham. We didn't mention Bull Durham. Bull Durham's a great film.
Also, you mentioned Field of Dreams. I mean, I mentioned Field of Dreams, but Field of Dreams,
great film.
Also, just plays on the heartstrings of an American dad throwing to his son playing catch. You know who so many people could. Relate to that.
And boxing relates well to film also because it's usually about a one man's journey. Exactly. Boxing is such a singular.
Southpaw.
I
was going to ask you. I was going to ask you guys what for the last note about sports movies. What sport do you think lends best to the film?
Baseball and boxing has shown to.
I was going to say boxing because exactly what you said. That one man, you have a one-on-one fight. You know, it can build up to a climatic event so well. Everything just builds around like a Rocky with the whole training and everything. Raging Bull. You know, things like that.
Usually fake wrestling, WWE.
Fake wrestling.
The wrestler. No,
that is film. That is film.
Poker.
It's a great film. Wrestler's a great film, though.
The Wrestler is a great film.
Although I was thinking of a different movie.
I thought he would win the Oscar for that. I thought he would win. That was a good movie. I thought he'd win the Oscar for that, Mickey Rourke, that year.
He did not win. He won a Golden Globe. He won the Oscar. Oh, I'll give you the worst performance by an athlete in a film.
Okay.
The Joe Louis story, may he rest in peace, probably next to Ali, maybe the greatest fighter of all time. But he played himself in the Joe Louis story.
He's bad playing himself?
It is unwatchable.
He can act.
It's unwatchable.
Will Smith was good as Ali, too.
Put in a bad spot.
Will
Smith did a good job. Paul Newman did a good job as Rocky Graziano, and Somebody Up There Likes Me. That's another movie you young guys have to see. Yeah, really good movie.
Heaven Can Wait.
Somebody Up There Likes Me. It's Rocky Graziano.
Heaven Can Wait is an old football movie, too. Well, I think that can still be considered a sports movie. He was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty, right?
Warren Beatty. Yep. Good movie.
Go Bridgeside.